We moved houses recently and we've been working hard to make sure that we bring back order in the house, right? Just to make it a home again, to make sure that we get ourselves settled in. And this morning I realized that I've got so many cuts on my fingers. My fingers are literally in pain. And as I was realizing that, I actually, got another cut while preparing for this message. I got another card while preparing for this message, right? And as I got that card, it was so, I said, oh my God, but why do I keep getting these cards? And immediately in my spirit, God said, because you're working, you will be bruised. So today I want to talk to you about we are bruised for peace sake. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. When I said, oh my God, why do I keep getting bruised? My fingers are literally on fire. I never expected God to respond to such, right? But He did. And when He said it, it started making sense to me. I started meditating on that word. What does it mean exactly? I started remembering, the life of Jesus and the struggles that He went through at the beginning of His journey. I mean, He was tested by the devil. He rebuked the devil, and the devil didn't go away. You know what? That is one revelation that I've just seen this week. Go look at it. Go look at Luke chapter 4 verse 8, right? Jesus says to the devil, get behind me, Satan. And immediately after saying that, verse 9, the devil is there again testing Jesus in some way, right? So Jesus went through disappointment of trying to rebuke the devil, but the devil wouldn't go away. How many times have we gone through things and we pray them away, but God doesn't do as we ask Him? He just does His will, right? Jesus had to go through that, but immediately he had to pick himself up, realizing that the devil was still in his midst. If he had to dwell in his disappointment, then he wouldn't be able to deal with the next test. He wouldn't be able to rebuke the devil again, to get the energy and strength again to rebuke the devil. So he quickly got out of the disappointment of not being able to reject him the first time, right? The second thing that he went through is that he was rejected by his own nation. He went to Nazareth and they literally grabbed him by his clothes and threw him out of the city, right? So he went through all of that at the beginning of his journey. He got bruised so that he could develop muscle to handle rejection, to handle getting bruised, to handle sometimes not things not going his way, right? So it was in that journey at the beginning that he started developing those muscles, because God was preparing him for what he was about to go through, right? The things that he would go through. He was preparing him to know that his journey didn't need a crowd. In his journey, he would not need cheerleaders. If God is with him, then he has everything that he needs. He needed to learn that at the beginning of his journey. So I'm getting bruised at the beginning of our new journey in this new home that we are in, right? And that taught me that, you know what, we mainly get bruised at the beginning of their journey, but we need to recognize that it is because God is preparing us for the work that He's about to do on earth through us. So we need not dwell on the disappointments. We need not dwell on the pain, but we need to seek God in our moments of being bruised, to seek the kind of peace that He is building in us, the kind of muscle that He's developing in us, right? We need to be looking for God when we are hurting, to ask Him, God, but why am I getting this bruised? Because in those moments when you go to Him and ask the question, He will give you the answer. But you know what we do when we go through pain, when we go through disappointments, we start dwelling on the pain. We start shifting our minds from God, from Jesus. We bring our focus on the problem and challenges that we are experiencing. And when we do that, we take away the power that God is trying to build in us. We suffocate the muscle that God is trying to develop in us, and we fail to see the future that He's lining up for us. So I just wanted to remind you that your season of being bruised, your moments of disappointments, your challenges that you are going through right now are at the beginning of something that God is trying to do in your life. I didn't get these cards because I was just relaxing. I was in my comfort zone. I got these cards when I moved houses. When I was at the house that we used to stay at, I didn't have these kind of bruises because I was well settled. It was home for me. But now that I'm starting a new journey, I realized that I discovered some bruises because of trying to prepare this new home so that it can be a place of comfort, a place of serenity for us, right? So remember that every time you feel like you are under pressure, every time you feel like attacks are coming from all angles of life, it means you are stepping into a new season of your life, a new thing that God is doing in your life. So in that moment, forget the pain. Consult God. Do not focus your energies on this pain, but rather lift your eyes up to the Lord and ask Him the question, why am I being attacked from all angles? Because you know, the one thing that I realized after Jesus went through the rejection in Nazareth, that was the last thing that He went through that was painful in the beginning of His journey. Then from there on, after being rejected, after being thrown out of the city, he started doing miracles in the next city that he found himself in. He started preaching the gospel. Multitudes started being attracted to him, to a point where when he wanted to move to the next city, the people in the city just were pleading with him to stay, were pleading with him to be in their midst, because he had so much impact in their lives. So when you are going through things and you start recognizing that God is doing something, this is the beginning of a certain journey that God is preparing you for, then you will be setting yourself up or positioning yourself for the manifestation of what God is trying to do in your life. Let's not dwell on our pain. That pain is meant for us to develop muscle to handle situations that cause us pain next time in a healthy way. I mean, when you go through pain, the next time you experience pain, you can draw from the experiences that you already have in order to deal with it better. And when you start dealing with difficult situations in a healthy manner, you are basically buying a blessing of peace through difficulties for your children, right? Your descendants will start experiencing peace because you have gone through situations that forced you to develop a muscle, to develop and not to develop to develop a muscle of handling difficult situations in a healthy, peaceful manner. So when you start learning it, your children will learn it from you. So your descendants will no longer have to go the struggles of dwelling in disappointments, dwelling in their pain. They will know that when they go through things, the first thing that they need to do is to lift up their eyes to the Lord and ask the question, God, why am I going through this? What are you preparing me for? So that is buying a generational peace for your loved ones, right? Generational peace for your descendants. So we are bruised in order to have peace. If we understand how God moves in our lives, if we start learning the character of God, we will know that no season of pain, no season of challenges, no attacks just come our way for nothing. We'll start recognizing that actually, because we are being attacked in all angles, it means God is doing a new thing in my life. I need to watch out for God and ask Him, what are you doing in my life, so that I know and understand the lessons that I need to draw from all these bruises that I have. I know it's not a nice message to share, but I believe in what I'm telling you right now. We are bruised for peace sake. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified.